had to do that. If I didn't, I would cry. And I really have learned, like they say, is that all of us have things that we can cry about. So you control what you can, do what you can, try to manage the rest, and keep going. Right? Right.
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 There you go. So, good morning, Aretha.
Hey, everybody.
Good
How are you?
morning.
Good to see you.
Good to
I
see
knew
you.
you should be coming in since you sent something this morning. But all right. This is my official good morning to everybody. And I really, truly, as always, I'm happy to see you guys. And hopefully for you, this week has been one of a lot more good things than challenging things. And if they were challenging things, I hope they were things that you were able to manage without bringing any undue stress into your life. And in fact, if you could, and if you can, that's a great thing. So my word for this week is the word inspiration.
Sure.
All right. According to the description that I chose that I like, is it says that it's a process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something. And I like that description because if you find that you are falling in a slump, try to find something that will pull you out. And maybe it's just a matter of, for those of you that have been with me for years that know one of my things that always gave me pep and energy was a glass of strawberry Kool-Aid. I love strawberry Kool-Aid flavor.
Yeah.
And I used to like strawberry jello until somebody told me about the gelatin part. So I had to lay off of that. But nevertheless, what, whatever you need to do to stimulate yourself, try and do that. And sometimes it means that you may have to reach out to someone else. And I'm just a stickler for not being a one-way person. And by that, I mean that, you depend on other people stimulating you or doing things to help you. But just remember that it's important to give back also. Because that day that you may be feeling down and someone helped you out, just don't be a hogger of emotion. Sometimes just a phone call to somebody and say, hey, what's happening is a great thing. So I'm saying that to let you all know I send messages out, but it's okay to send a message to me. And it doesn't have to be attached to a photo for show and tell, because I do appreciate hearing from you. Okay? Any
Okay.
words to share? Anything you want to share?
Well, I think your word is good. I think that I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No problem. But all good. So, based upon that, since I had some of these people like getting these things in this morning, and just so you guys are aware, if you send me a photo all the way up until 10:15 the morning of class, I can manage those. I prefer to get them early, but if you do, it still gives me enough time to get them uploaded and downloaded because I have to take it from one computer or one program more or less to moving into another. But just making you aware. So I'm trying to take some of the burden off of you and all the apologies you sent. So, but as I said, if you send them earlier, that helps. Okay, we're all good? All right, so let's go to our share screen here and see what we got for today. Oh, it just occurred to me that Ellen's not on here this morning. All right, so today we will start with Miss Leona.
What? Oh, okay.
Well, yours, let's do in order. Yours was the first one. Um, Let me let Linda in that came in.
Oh, okay.
So when I originally saw this, I thought it was green. And you came back and told me about the blue color. So when I changed the filter a little bit more, then I was able to see the blue color that you were referring to. So you want to talk about your piece?
Oh, that's the iris pendant. You know the pattern you gave us. I
Uh-huh.
think it was 2 weeks ago.
Right,
Okay, and I found some delicate beads. They were in 3 shades of blue. Not delicate. The super duos.
right,
Okay, and the silver ones there is the little round 2 millimeter silver bead. Yeah, in the middle and
right.
around the head. And then the others are the 11 O's.
Are
Yeah,
these 11s?
I think those are 11s. Yeah.
Okay,
And then I found the little what do you call it? The bell.
right here.
I found I had a bell laying back there and something, so I used it rather than the one that she had
Mm-hmm.
and hung it from the chain.
Right. So when you got to the end, you just attach everything together and slip your veil through it.
Right.
Okay, okay. All right, excellent. Are there any questions?
Oh, it's nice. I
Yeah, there's done already.
like it.
We're good?
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Look, I'm always so happy when Neon sends something that's the done, finalized, completed. It makes it all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm the slow baby.
And she's number one.
It's okay. I hear you. All right, so then next we have Miss Laretha. You have to bear with, because see, I'm getting my little spinning hourglass with a message off of my internet provider. I love
Ooh,
color,
Rita.
spectacular, really. So is this a pattern that you found or?
I found that pattern on, what's a beading pad? It's supposed to, the bottom part is square. How to do the square is really easy.
Right,
And then I decided that I like a longer earring, like I have on like that.
right.
And so I came up with the idea of just making a circle at the top and connect. Just did that.
Okay. No, the color is really beautiful. Has like a peachy tone to the super duos.
The earrings we had from the pattern that you sent us before, and I had beads left over, so I decided that I wanted to do something with the beads and not just have them sitting there. So
Okay,
the same beads that I had, but I think I used different colors. I just add those bicones in that one.
oh, okay, okay. No, I really do like the colors. It's a beautiful combination. Any questions? Well, you all are a quiet group. All right, so that was from Laretha, or that is from Laretha. And then we have Miss Cynthia. And hopefully, Cynthia, because I think if I saw it correctly, you had multiple shots of the same
Yes.
pieces, right? Because I only had enough time to pull 3 of them.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this one is the super duo
Yes.
pattern, correct?
Uh-huh.
What's interesting is with this particular bead here, this is not a super duo bead, right? Or it is?
Yes, that light color one.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Oh, the reason I'm asking that is I have not seen a super duo in that color before. That's what was surprising to me.
Yeah. I
I have
think I got those at Organic Bead.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Oh, you mean the place that's on Cobb Parkway?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't been in it for such a while. I knew they had a fairly decent collection of beads, but I'd not seen the clear like that before.
Yeah, I have that bead.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get it from organic? You talking about a great organic stone, correct?
Organic stone, yes.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting color.
Mhm.
All right. Hopefully I got this. I love this.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Oh,
Now
beautiful.
this is a good play off of the bracelet that you had.
That's
a week
right.
ago. The bracelet you submitted,
Yes.
because these little pieces in here.
Mhm.
So this is something that you created
Yes.
beyond what was, oh, okay,
To match the bracelet. Yeah.
right, that you had done.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that looks good.
It is beautiful.
Once you master the core of a pattern or a bead like this, you know, creating the center beads, there's so many variations from that, because it's like creating a spoke on a wheel where you can just go out in all different directions with things.
Mhm.
And when you get something like that set up. Okay. All right. This color I love.
Oh, wow.
It's like a kind of mustard color.
Mm-hmm.
Let me move a little bit. Yeah, that's neat.
Version here.
It's a that's really nifty color.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any questions? Now, this a piece I'm about to show you came from a participant in Wednesday's class. What's amazing to me is this was like, I think, called the lacy bracelet pattern. I'm still working on this pattern because it takes a minute or two to do these components. And I was so shocked that she did it in like a couple of days. I'm like, well, obviously, for me, I'm doing other things, but nevertheless, it takes that time. But this is the bracelet I'm working on now. And it does take, as I said, a while to create one of these components. And I finally got down to, I'm like on my fourth component now, because once you create the center, then you got to go back and, you know, do the embellishment like on one side, and you got to go to the other side and do the embellishment. And when you work with the smaller beads, and even in this one, which I normally don't do, but this calls for 11s and size 15 beads.
Mm.
I found that I could not do the 15. So I ended up changing the 15s to 11s also, and using a different color, so that when I looked at the pattern, when it said a size 15, I knew which color to use. But it's very, very, it's really beautiful when you get the components together, because it looks very dainty. And but I love this. So this was Julia. She completed her piece. And it's interesting to me, as I said with Julia, Julia has always been in my beginners class and would not step up, even though I kept encouraging her to do so. So truthfully, most of her weaving has been done from her following the instructions that are given. And I just think she's done a fantastic job. But just to, and it was, I asked her because I counted the components in here, and I think there were 12. I know she has a small wrist. So that means I'm gonna have to do about 14 or 15 to go around. If because she's about a 6.5, and that's stretching, and she has plenty of slack, and she has 12 components to make up this, and she said it fits her wrist. So that's scary. So for what this equates to me is, if I'm reading a book or watching a movie and it gets really suspenseful, everybody knows that I go to the end first, and then I go back and watch the rest. Because sometimes it's so much. So in a circumstance like this, I'm not sure it was good for me to count, but I'm still working on this. But it does come out to be a beautiful piece.
It's beautiful.
I think did a great job on this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will come back to this in a minute. Let me stop sharing. Oh, I'm gonna make certain that Linda was there. Linda, can you hear me? She came in while we were doing the screen share. Linda?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you.
just
Yes,
want to
I
double
was
check.
late because I just reached home.
Oh, no problem. I just want to make certain that you were able to hear. I knew you
No,
came.
I can hear
All
you.
right, excellent. Very good. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so this is where we are as far as the things that have been presented or sent to me for show and tell. My question is, I really like to try and follow a path where we're focusing on something new, because to me, that's the intent of this. And what I'm asking you for is to provide me with some ideas as directions and things that will enhance where you are.
I have a question.
Certainly.
Are most of you making this for your own use? Are you giving it as gifts? Were you selling them at craft shows? What are we beading for?
Okay. Well, I will give you my response first, okay? And then the others are free to join in. In the past, for me personally, I belonged to several different guilds. And one of the last one I belonged to was the Dunwoody Beading Guild. So
Mhm.
for years, I sold a lot of my things at Gallery 35 up in Alpharetta. I used to do a lot of craft shows like the ones at Marietta Square, things of that nature. For me, at this point, because I'm not displaying as much as I used to do and working shows, a lot of my things I give them away as gifts. I mean, that's what I do. Or even if I have friends of mine ask me about making something, I may make it, but I don't do, even though I get asked to do orders for people, I don't do that simply because I don't like being pressured to make something. Because if I make a commitment, even though a person would say to me, oh, if you do it, don't worry about it whenever you get time. And then every time I see them, I feel guilty because their eyes are saying to me, is it done yet? And so that's one of my things. And what happened to me also, Joyce, as I got more into teaching, I kind of move away, but I still make a lot of things simply because it's hard for me to share with you about the ins and out of something that I have not worked myself. But sometimes I find, well, you may need to change this to do something differently. But that has been the biggest part. And I do, as I said, now I won't, even if I were selling something and if somebody came along and offered me something for a ridiculous price, I'd give it away before I undersell it. I just won't do that. So, that's my experience. You ask for a purpose. Is it because what do you do with your pieces?
I have most of mine are still with me. I've given some away. I've sold one or two to some people that said, oh, I love it. Will you make me something? But I just kind of do it because I'm intrigued by the patterns.
Right. And that's kind of where I am. But like I said, I love jewelry. I love jewelry making, but it's more than just making the piece. As you said, for me, it's like having the ability to work in and see it and realize that I made this happen or something like that. So, if somebody admires it, I don't care. I'll give it to them because I know that I can make it again if I wanted to. Any comments from others as to what you're doing with your things now?
Well,
With
I'm kind of
mine,
storing up right now. It seems like it, and with the virus and everything going on, it's kind of hard to get among people to try to, if I wanted to sell anything. But I feel the same way. Before I underestimate myself as far as selling something, and well, I'd say like this: you have to buy your beads, and you make the beads. So my husband said something to me. He said, Aretha, do you think you at least deserve the minimum wage? I said, well, yeah. He said, do you see it make you a novice? I said, no, I don't. So you should be paid for what you're worth, or either keep it or give it away.
Got it. Annie,
That's
were you making a comment?
no, I was just going to share that just like Miss Aretha, I have,
Larissa?
yeah, I've you spend a lot of money in your stuff and your beads and your jewelry and whatnot and your time, in which I do craft shows, and and I do and I give away more than I sell as well. And my children haven't bought any jewelry pieces since I started beading, so they all use that. But I will sell my pieces, and I too have a ton of stuff, and
Right,
and I like to get rid of it, and I will
right,
give a lot of it away.
right. Leona, do you have a comment? At least you have your granddaughter, so you
I
have some
have 4
girls.
granddaughters, so if they see something they like, okay, you can have it. But
Right.
that's why I'm not really pushed to make things. I just, you know, do it as my
Right.
leisure. I enjoy being.
Okay. Cynthia, did you have a comment?
Well, I have a lot of girls in my family that like my jewelry, and then they'll ask me how much it costs. I give them the price, and then I give it to them free. But
Right.
and then friends also would come over. Oh, Cynthia, you have all this stuff sitting here. I say, yes. Well, why don't you sell me this piece? I say, well, I'll give it to you for $10. And it just, I don't like to really give away some of my jewelry because it's really time consuming and jewelry is very expensive. So if I can get at least $10, I feel rewarded. And
Hmm.
still, I feel like I'm giving it away. I really
Okay.
am.
I got
Yes.
you.
But with that $10, I can go buy some more beads.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Lastly, I want to add this, Joyce, for me, because I do so many different things. I sometimes do painting and other artwork because I used to do a lot of shows at Mabel House Art Center. In addition to all of my beads, is all of the frame pictures that I have. And no, I do. I mean, I've got stuff sitting over here. And of course, when I have things framed, I'm not gonna do all this work. And I'm like one of those, put me in the room. I'm gonna find the most expensive one. I spend a lot of money framing my pieces because when you do shows, framing is a big part of it. And honestly, I don't have enough wall space left to even hang some of the paintings. So it's more than just the jewelry making things that I have. I have knitting stuff, and I have, uh, I mean, and then I taught decorative arts at the center also. So I got big bags of cement in the garage and these things. So it's more. But I just, I try. I love doing the craft, and for me, it's learning stuff. So I guess in the end, I don't think about it. But sometimes I do miss out being out at shows because you just always met such great people, and the conversation was always good and things like that. But I don't know if that gives you an answer, but that's where I am and speaking for everybody else. So that's what we do. So, Linda, did you have anything to add to that?
I am a newcomer. I don't have, actually, I always wanted to see how it's done, but 30 years ago, I started one only and I haven't done it until now.
Okay.
I'm just doing it for hobby. I just really enjoyed it. And uh, let's put it that way. Sometimes I like to challenge myself.
Right.
But being involved in so many activities, I don't really have much time to do it, but I enjoy looking at what people do, enjoy at the internet. In fact, I enjoy more to learn from you and as well as you too. I'm
Oh,
not going to sell them. I just make it. And my sister was saying, you have so many real gold jewelry, diamond jewelry. You never wear it. What are you trying to do with doing all this for? So I stopped pausing for a while, but I didn't want to say stop it because yes, I may be slow because of so many activities on, but I love to make it because I just love to make things that's beautiful. But if I make extra and people love it, they can have it. It's just that
right.
I still don't know much of it and I slowly catching up.
Oh,
Please
okay.
bear with me.
We will, no problem. All right. On that note, let me go and show you our pattern for whenever you choose to work on it. Okay. So let me show you what I found that I love. This one, find it. Oh, here it is. This is called the Isabel bracelet. Have you seen this one?
No,
And
ma'am.
this is I've never heard of a candy bead before, and I went out and looked it up. It's like a round bead or something that I never heard of, but this one uses these super duo beads. You know, I'm focusing on 2-hole beads so we can try to get rid of some of the things. But what even though this piece in the middle is supposedly this candy bead, if you have the, I think it's the cabochon bead, because we did a project a while ago using the 2-hole cabochon bead. This is a bead, I think, this center bead to me can be replaced with a bead of your choice, I think, really. But the candy bead has 2 holes, so cabochon bead has 2 holes to it. And I'm certain there are probably other round beads, I'm assuming, that have it, because I have so many tubes of those cabochon beads. And when I have a moment to work on this one, I will replace this bead with that, the cabochon bead. But what's interesting to me is why, oh why, are they using so many size 15 beads?
That's crazy. Trying to get that needle through it.
Yeah, but it's not that. I'm having such a problems starting to see the hole in them as well. And I could really use the art lamps to help somewhat, but I just decided the other day I wasn't going to bother with that lamp or anything like that. So, you know, that's kind of where I am at this point. But so this will be the bracelet pattern that I'm sending out. Is there anybody that does not want it? Freedom of speech. I'm just double checking. Otherwise, you will
Oh,
get it.
I want it. Yes.
So if I don't get a response, that means everybody gets it.
Yes.
Okay. So that's one.
Everybody gets it.
That's right. And then the other one I found, I always love these earrings. I don't think I did this one before, but I found these when I go out on my quest. I love these earrings. I don't think I gave you guys this earring pattern before. If I did, you can replace it. But I love this because I love the little drop piece at the bottom here.
Yes.
And it only uses the 2 size beads. Of course, one of them says size 15 again. But I would substitute myself. But I love these. Any questions, comments?
You know, you talk about the 15 OC beads. I had some issues when I first started beading, and my son bought me a surgical lamp, and that is fantastic when you're trying to see those little bitty holes.
Well, the art lamp that I have, it is a craft lamp, and I can see under it if I use that, but I don't want to sit with that lamp all the while on, because mine has even a drop down magnifier. But the thing is that of course I'm still trying to do a lot of my beadwork just off of my regular eyes here and these. But no matter, it's just that I find that it's challenging. But I do have an art lamp, which is like a surgical lamp on my table. So, old girl could really mess with it. Wanted to, but, since that pattern, one of the patterns says you can use a size 11 or an 8 bead for one of the beads, I would do the 8s and then do the 11s. That way I would have that size step up and it'll be fine, and I can look, Nene the size 15. No, what? Oh gosh. Well, it is what it is, what it is. So that's how I look at it. So what do you think?
So you're gonna email those patterns? I don't have those.
Oh yes, I know. Yeah, I will email both of those to everyone. Okay. You heard what I said. You don't say no, that means you get them. Okay, so is there anything in particular I need to research for next week? Or what would you like to bring to the plate? What's important is, and what I try to get you guys to focus on, regardless of whether, hopefully you have something that you want to show, even if it's something that's from years ago. But it really is important for us, I feel, to get together so we can still maintain that contact with each other. I do try to seek out things, but if you find something you feel you want to share, whether you do it or you want to send it to me, feel free to do that. I'm focusing now on trying to find little tidbits of shortcuts for things that can be done. That's one of the things I'm kind of focusing on, because there's so many other little things that I'm finding that I used to do it like this, but new processes come about. So what I'm asking you to do is share with us any shortcut or something that you may find that may be of interest to help someone else.
Okay, I'll do that.
I appreciate it.
I saw something on YouTube, how you can take a frame and put a piece of wire in it, paint it to hang your earrings
Oh,
on the
really?
on the
Really?
wall, mount them on the wall. I was
Oh,
trying to find it. I'll send you the picture.
okay.
And you can also like the racks that go in the refrigerator or stove. You can paint them and use them also to hang your jewelry on.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. I like that, you know, because one of the things is, well, everybody know, I say everybody knows because when I do decorative arts, I mean, I have earring holders that are teacups. I've got the bowl thing, and I'll show you guys some pictures of those. And my teacups came from Miss Ethel, who broke some of her china pieces, and she gave me the cup and saucers. So what I did is I took the cup and I glued it to the saucer. So the earrings are hanging around the top of the cup. And anything that I take off, I just drop it in the bottom of the saucer piece, and you can move it around on your dresser. I've also done them with bowls and things like that.
Mhm.
For earring pieces, and even in the center of the cup, it's like I drop things, like, because we all have things that we wear all the time. It's our favorite piece. So if I'm taking off a bracelet or something like that, I will drop it in a cup. I've have a well, Lillian gave me a Don Perignon bottle because I make lamps from wine bottles, and I cut the bottle, and the bottom part of the bottle, I made it a candle in that. And then the top part of the bottle, I attach the cork bottom to it. And the neck of that bottle is my bracelet holder. I have a crystal bottle stopper. I'll have to take a picture and show you that. So when I have my bracelets, I just drop them on top of that bottle neck.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah. So I will take pictures so you guys can see that. So there are a lot of little tidbit things. So Larita, if you will bring or share that or pass it on, I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
And on that note, we are getting ready to close out today's session. And I'm just reminding everybody, which I'm sure I don't need to, is, be safe, be cautious, be healthy. And as always, feel free to reach out at any time. I sometimes need to be inspired also. So never feel that I don't welcome the message, the text, or whatever, because it does keep me going.
Oh,
So, any last words of wisdom or thoughts for the week from anybody else?
You mentioned using some of your old coins when you go off out of the countries and whatnot.
Yep.
At my church, we do missionary work and we get to travel out of the country. And I have a whole bunch of coins.
Right.
So I went rambling through it, and I made some earrings from those coins, and that was
That's right. Here they are right here on my, yep.
yeah, that was nice.
I think these are the ones I got from Cuba. I have to look them up. But I have coins from all different places. And like I said, when you get them set up, they'd be great to attach to necklaces and bracelets. Sometimes I use them just as a charm on my bracelet or something like that.
Yeah, give it a very unique look to your piece. So.
Well, thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. You know, I just hadn't figured out what to do yet with those like bills, but I started to roll them up and make paper beads out of them as another
Oh,
thing. But yeah, but
come
anyway,
on,
here
hang
they
on
are
to my money.
for sure. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Wishing you a happy, happy weekend. And just as I said, be safe,
All right.
okay? And reach out when
Okay.
you can. All right.
Have a good
Have a
weekend.
good one.
Nice day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All
I
Bye-bye.
right.
enjoyed it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ann.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.